Grand Promenade, Sheridan sitting at a table looking at the newspaper in the classified section. So Kevin came to the table where Sheridan is and saw what she's doing. You look like you need some help, and as Sheridan put the paper down and saw Kevin, I'm fine. Well, maybe not. What's wrong? And as Kevin went and sat down at her table, I made one mistake and now I'm paying the price for it. Sounds like you and I are in the same predicament. Meanwhile, at the Los Angeles courthouse in the trial room in the front area, Vanessa, Darla, Bobby, Tyler, Scott, and Taya are talking. Can you leave my client the hell alone? Wow. Really, Scott? How very unprofessional you, especially when the taxpayers are the reason to why you are more clueless. Like you are? Go away. Come, Vanessa. We have a trial to win. And as Darla and Vanessa turn and head to the other side, while the others continue talking, she's not gonna win. That depends on Matt's testimony. You are gonna cross-examine him, right? Oh, I do. In fact, I just have the plan that make these charges fade away. I never doubted you at all. Mom and as Lucy and Tristan came to where they are, and they all saw them. I just came to wish you luck. Me too. Everyone, please take your places. As for everyone else, all rise for Judge Evelyn. And as Lucy, Tristan, Sharon, Tyler, Carly, and Bobby all went and took their respective place, while everyone else got up, just as the judge came in and went and sat down. You may be seated. And as everyone sat down, case number 45771, Vanessa Dawson and the state of California versus Taya Wilson on the account of the attempted murder of Vanessa Dawson. Jury, and as the judge looked at them. Since Darla and Scott briefed you on what's going on prior to me getting here, let's get this thing started. And as the judge looked at Darla, Darla, call your first witness. And as the guard went and turned the lights off, just as Darla stand up and head and face the courtroom. You know, it's so amazing that technology we have, because we can summon anyone for a video chat. So, going forth, I think it's time to call our key witness that'll give me everything I need. I'll call Matt Dawson to the stand. And it's Taya thinking, this can't be happening. And as the video chat came on for everyone in the court to see with Matt there, and as Darla turned and saw Matt. Welcome, Matt. It is so good for you to join us. Meanwhile, in the hallway, Linda's walking down the hall to her iPhone rings, and she got it and saw who it is and answered it. Then I made it quite clear that you're only to call when it's an emergency. Oh. What? And why the hell you didn't stop them? Your excuses are really tiresome. Just keep an eye on them till I decide what I'm gonna do. I'm pretty certain it's not hard for you to follow. And as Linda hung up. Damn it. Excuse me. And as one of the security guards came to where Linda is. Can't you read the sign? You cannot use. I'm the reason to why you were in that uniform. So if you want this job, you keep your damn mouth shut. And as Linda came and shake the guard's hand, slipping $200 in it. And as she went and walked away. Just as Cassie and Kyle came to where Linda is. And she saw them. This better be an emergency, which I highly think it's unlikely. You finished now? Anything to add before I say my piece? Good. Now, we have pressing matters to discuss in this room. And as Linda led Cassie and Kyle towards the conference room, which they went in, with Kyle closing the door. And as they went and sat down at a table, we have a problem on our hands that needs to be stopped. Meanwhile, in the other trial room, as Karen and Mildred's arraignment proceeds, Your Honor, my clients have pled not guilty You two lot do realize this trial can start as early as today, right? Really? Yes. And if the two of you lot found guilty, then it's a total of 5 years and a huge fine. So, are you prepared? I like to tell you in confidence that my clients will be proven innocent. We'll see about that. And as Drew got his phone out and began texting, which the judge saw. Young man, can't you read the sign? No cell phones. Bailiff, give me his phone. And as the bailiff went and got the man's phone, who gave it to him. Now then, and as the bailiff came back and gave the phone to the judge. Moving back to you two lot. It's time for our first witness as the official trial begins. No, wait! We have to discuss a battle plan to win this. You at least owe us that. I make the rules in my courtroom, and furthermore, if you make another outburst, I will add contempt to the charges you and your friend are already facing. Meanwhile, at the Grand Baptist Church in the recreation room, as Isabella and Sean's reception is going, everyone is having a good time dancing. Let's get to Angela, who heads to where Vince is. You okay? Of course I am. Why wouldn't I be? I have you by my side. You don't have to lie to me. Who says I am? Because your face is saying it, and I know a part of you will always love her. She was my first love, Angela. I will always love her, but she's my past. You are my present. There must be a reason to why they would marry so soon. And as Claire came to where they are, I was kinda hoping you shed some light on that as well. And as Angela and Vince saw Claire. Meanwhile, let's get to Helen and CJ, who are dancing. You know, this does remind of our wedding. Despite in the end, it all worked out. Yeah, it did. Meanwhile, while that's happening, Jared walked past him with 2 cups of wine to his wife Allison is, and gave her one, which she got. It is so strange that my sister suddenly want to get married. Given to what she went through, I say she was aiming for the moment. Perhaps, but I think it's a little bit more than that. You're overthinking. Am I really, Jared? She was dating Vince a few months ago, well, about to marry the dude, and then the tidal wave came and suddenly she's with Sean? Yeah, that doesn't fit well with me. Sounds like you're just as concerned as I am, and as Gwen and Eric came to where they are. And Allison and Jared saw them. Give it a rest, Gwen. They deserve to be happy. Ladies and gentlemen, and as everyone turned and saw Greg, let me welcome you, Mr. and Mrs. Sean Dawson. And as everyone began to applaud and cheer, just as Isabella and Sean came in, holding hands. While that's happening, CJ's noticing Dustin talking to a woman. Meanwhile, at the Los Angeles International Hospital in the conference room, Jennifer and Lauren are talking. I had to act quickly, especially knowing that family's reputation around here with his parents wrecking happen and all. I just couldn't take that chance. So you hooked up with Jesse. He was a cool guy. Even though I met him at his place of work, we talked. One thing led to another, and you and him got married. It was a spirit of the moment. We knew we both loved each other. Meanwhile, you didn't want to jeopardize his future, so you aborted your baby knowing that Paul might find out. I still love Jesse, and I finally complained to what I did. Only partially, which is why you cannot tell him the real reason to why you did the abortion in the first place. And as Carol and Steve came in, having heard what Lauren and Jennifer said, and is not pleased. And as Lauren signaled Jennifer, who turned and saw Carol and Steve there. And as she quickly turned and faced Lauren, who gave her the nod, which caused Jennifer to realize they heard what they said. I better go. And as Jennifer got up and turned and headed out of the room, walking past Carol and Steve. And as Carol looked at her husband, Steve, can you give me a minute alone? Honey, I don't think it's a minute. And as Steve turned and went and left the conference room, just as Lauren got up Look, I don't know what's happening right now, but I really need to go. And as Lauren head out, but Carol went and slammed the door, blocking her exit. Wrong. You're not going anywhere, you twisted cow! Meanwhile, at the Grand Promenade, Sheridan and Kevin are talking. Oh, how bad is yours? I'm not too sure it's worth talking. Well, for me, how should I say this? I'm without a home at the moment. You're homeless? My brother and I had a fight with our parents and threatened to walk out, and they agreed if we were to walk, not to come back. Wow. I guess you win. Here's the kicker. It's because of a dude named Michael Goodcharm who claims to be a part of my family. Michael? I didn't know he had. So you do know him. Meanwhile, at the Los Angeles courthouse in the trial room, as Taya's trial begins, Matt via video chats on the screen while everyone's watching, while Dollar begins to question him. Okay, Matt. From what I understand, you were present when Taya made a threat against your wife, right? Objection, and Scott stand up. Get on with it, Darla. Okay, and Scott sat back down. Taya was responsible for taking care of your wife, making sure she get the best care. Am I correct? Correct. Can you please explain to the court her exact words when you overheard objection and Scott stand back up? Manipulating, I allow it. And Scott sat back down. She basically said that the tables have turned on you, and as sweet as this is, knowing that your fate is now in my hands. Interesting. So basically, on what she said, she had opportunities, means, and motive to decide that this should end objection, Your Honor, and Scott stand back up. Moving forward, and Scott sat back down. Have Vanessa and Taya ever gone alone? Honestly, no. Not ever since she and I were together. So it's been 4 years, and she hated the fact that your wife has ruined her marriage. Let me just say that she still holds a grudge over the fact that she didn't try to break up my marriage apart. No more questions. Scott, and Scott got up just as Darla went and sat down. And Scott arrived to the screen where Matt is. Now it's my turn. Meanwhile, in the other courtroom, as Karen and Mildred's arraignment continues. Howard, your witness, please. And as Howard got up. Isn't this where we discuss bail money on whether my clients? I'm on that practice. I want to make certain they're not a threat to society. Otherwise, they'll be in prison. Now, instead of telling me how I should run my court, call your witness. I don't have one. Yeah, you do. And as Bobby stand up, use me. And as Carly look at Bobby, are you certain? And as Bobby look at his wife, if the judge want a witness, then we give her one. And as Bobby look at Howard, who saw him, and as he gave the nod, and as Howard turned and faced the judge, I call Bobby Graham to the stand. And as Bobby went and head to the bench area where the guard is, raise your right hand, and as Bobby did, and as the guard put the Bible up, touched the Bible, and Bobby touched it. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I do. And as the guard turned and stand in his post while Bobby went and sat down facing the court. Meanwhile, in the conference room, Linda, Cassie, and Kyle are talking. I'm sorry, why exactly is that my problem? You know what? I am not in the mood too damn bad, Linda. We have lives of our own to live. Oh, I see. Then perhaps you two lot realize if I go down, I won't be alone. Get to the point to why we're here. It seems Matt and his mates has found the place that hold my family's secrets. Feeling threatened that you're gonna lose it all? That's a real shame. Enough! You two will go down there and stop them at all costs. Why don't you tell us why you got so worked up on what's on that island that got you lot so scared. If you must know, if they discover our origins, then it's lights out for all of us. Meanwhile, at the Grand Baptist Church in the recreation room, as Isabella and Sean's reception continues, Isabella and Sean are dancing. But Isabella has a flashback with Mimi on the ground in the pool of blood. And as the flashback ends,
You okay?
yeah, nerves.
Well, just so you know, as your new husband, I will always protect you.
Thank you. That's why I married you. And as Ashley came to where they are, you mind if I steal my daughter away for a sec?
Sure.
And as Sean turned and walked away, while Ashley began slow dancing with her daughter. I really hope you know what you're playing at. Mom, I got this. Trust me. This marriage will show the world that I'm not the weak girl everyone thinks I am. Really? That's the best you got? What's your battle plan? Your father's attorney has been calling me about the will drawn. What? So soon? I know. I told him I need at least a month before I get her to lock. Meanwhile, Claire, Angela, and Vince are talking. She doesn't know anything. Oh, you're her guard dog now, Claire? I don't know the sudden reason to why your son and Isabel got married. You were his ex-wife. Shouldn't you know? Yeah, a long time ago I was. And no, I don't know what he's thinking right now. You were with him at the beginning. In fact, memory served me correctly, you were supposed to marry him. What are you getting at, Claire? Honey, you're wasting your time. And as Greg came to where they are, and Claire, Angela, and Vince saw him. Can't you be happy for them? We are. Let's go sit down. And as Greg led his wife away, and as they walked past, Allison, Jared, Gwen, and Eric were talking. I know how much you care about your aunt's happiness and all, but it feels kind of weird. When does anything feel right? My uncle's right. You and Jared need to stop with all the doom and gloom. Considering what happened with the Collin family and your dad, she's showing the world that she's strong and ready to take on anything. Look, I know you Dawsons always look out for another, but I assure you, Sean wouldn't hurt my sister. Okay, Allison, I believe you. Meanwhile, let's get to Helen and CJ, who are dancing, while CJ is looking at Dustin talking to a girl. And as Helen turned and noticed, and as she looked at her husband, what's wrong? Who is that guy? And as Helen turned and looked again, and turned and faced CJ. Oh, that's Dustin. He volunteered cooking some of the food, so I invited him. Why the hell would you do that? Do you know him? Yeah, I got a text from Michael about some person named Dustin. Is that him? How do you know? And as CJ stopped and head to where Dustin is. CJ! And as CJ wide where Dustin is, who saw him? You Dustin? Yeah, what's it to you? And as CJ punched Dustin to the ground, causing the music to stop, and as everyone turned and saw what's going on. Who the hell do you think you are? Meanwhile, at the Los Angeles International Hospital in the hallway, Jennifer is heading to the elevator. Not so fast, and as Jennifer stopped before getting to the elevator and turned and saw Steve, who came to where she is. What is it? I want to know exactly what you meant. Look, it's not what it seems by what I said. Don't backtrack, Jennifer. You told Lauren we can't find a reason to why she had an abortion, which led me to believe you know more. And as Jennifer's iPhone rings, and she got it, and saw who it is, and Steve saw. Really? And as Jennifer looked at Steve, look, I'm late for work. Sorry for the record, but it's really not my call. And as she declined the call and put the iPhone up and head in the elevator and turned and faced Steve. This isn't over. And as the elevator door closed, and as Steve got his iPhone out and began calling someone. May, it's me. I have a job for you. Meanwhile, in the conference room, Carol and Lauren are talking. Seriously, I have somewhere I need to be right now. You mean your husband, right? Yeah, I'm supposed to be checking how he's doing. Then why don't we go together? In the meantime, we're gonna have words as soon as we get there. And as Carol turned and opened the door, by all means, after you. And as Lauren went, I left the conference room. And as she began leading Carol down the hallway and arrived in Jesse's room, which they both went in, with Carol closing the door, while Lauren went to where Jesse is. And Carol soon arrived. And as Lauren faced Carol, can we not do this right now? I really have enough problems. I don't give a damn about your problems. I want to know the reason to why you had an abortion. Carol, you know well that's personal. That child you killed was my grandbaby, and I would never known if my son hadn't found out. It's a lot complicated than you think. Then why don't you explain it to me? You do know, even though my husband's in a coma, he can hear us. Good. Maybe he can find out who you really are, cause I sure as hell don't. Jesse and I got married because it felt right. Cause it felt right. Do you know how stupid that sounds? You said it, not me. And furthermore, I think I know what this is all about. You're mad because memory serves me correctly when I heard you and Steve were the same age when we got married in a rush. Only thing is, perhaps you'll wait for a little longer. And as Carol slapped Lauren, meanwhile, at the Grand Promenade, Sheridan and Kevin are talking. I don't know him closely, but he's the reason to why I am right now, roughing it on the streets. It sounds to me your parents are making you bond, which is unlikely. By the way, I grew up with Justin as my only brother, which is why I don't need anybody else. Look, I just found out last year I was part of a big family that never gave up the search for me. That's because you have someone in your corner. All I'm saying is, don't wait too long. I really hope to see you again. Maybe you will. And as Kevin got up and turned and walked away. Meanwhile, at the Los Angeles courthouse in the trial room, as Taya's trial continues, Scott begins to question Matt via video chat while everyone is watching. Let's get to Gloria, Darla, and Vanessa, who are talking amongst. Oh my god. What if Annie's husband not to worry? I come fully prepared. Come on, Gloria. Let Darla do her magic. Text me the results. Will do. And as Gloria and Vanessa both got up and turned and left the courtroom. Let's get back to Scott, who begins. You said that you heard what Taya said to your wife, correct? Yeah. Even though in your statement you said you overheard objection and it's Darla stand up. He's basically repeating exactly what I said. Okay. How about this? And as Darla sat back down. You seem very convinced that Taya would kill your wife for destroying her marriage. All I know is she's been bitter towards Vanessa for ending her marriage and probably been waiting for a while for that one chance to pay her back. Strange, because Taya wouldn't even come close to not honor her oath that she made. Sounds to me that your opinion is so strong that you're defending her when you don't know the facts. Scott, move forward with another question, please. Very well, Your Honor. Tell me this. If you feel so strong about her, then why you try to divorce her a year and kept this knowledge a secret unless objection, Your Honor, and as Darla stand up. Trapping the witness in the corner to why unless you knew as well. We're not talking about me here. Enough! Thank you, Matt, for your testimony and your time. No problem. And as the screen turned on, and as the guard went and turned the light back on. Now, Scott, please call your next witness. Meanwhile, in the hallway outside the trial room, Gloria and Vanessa are talking. Seriously? You're going back? After my husband needs me, I can feel it. How do you intend on getting there without... I was kinda hoping I can borrow your husband's private jet. Come on, Gloria. Fine. Thank you. Thank you so much. As long as and you tell me what our parents are hiding on that island. Deal. You won't regret this, I assure you. I fear that. And as Scott came out and saw Gloria and Vanessa, who saw him, excuse me, I need you to understand since you're my next witness. And as Gloria and Vanessa faced each other, good luck. You too. I'll text Jeff after this. And as Gloria went back in the trial room with Scott behind her. Meanwhile, in the other trial room, as Karen and Mildred's arraignment continues. Bobby, how well do you know these two lot? And remember, you're under oath, so don't you dare lie. I know them long enough to trust them. And as Bobby looked at Karen and Mildred, and with regard, hold on. You're asking, yes, I am. Now please be quiet as Bobby answered the question. Karen's the reason to why I got my job at the diner in the first place. And furthermore, I helped Mildred start a non-profit organization. Yes, the Grand Food Coalition that feeds the homeless and hungry in Los Angeles. How noble of you two. So, based on what you said, these two lot before you are a threat to society. They shouldn't have been arrested in the first place when the real imposters are out. Thank you. You may stand down. And as Bobby got up, wait, I didn't get to, you get your turn. And as Bobby went and sat next to his wife. Now then, based on the information, it seems you two want to become the idols that inspire you. Based on that information, your bail is hereby denied. And as Carly got up, you can't do that. Really? Seems to me I just did. Guard, take her to a holding cell. For what? And as Bobby stand up. Apparently, nobody was here on what I said. I don't allow outbursts in my courtroom, and I'm gonna be true to my word. Be lucky she doesn't get charged for contempt in my court. Guards, take her away. And as the guards came to where Carly and Bobby is. Second thought, and as they stopped just as they got to where they are. I want Carly here on what I'm about to say next. Getting back to you two lot. Since your bail's denied, I have decided a new fate for you both. Where would that be? You're about to find out right now. But before I continue, I need to ask you both a personal question. Do you two lot still believe that you're Karen Goodcharm and Mildred Graham Goodcharm? You know who we are. Yeah, we're the most powerful people on the planet. What? You didn't expect that? On the contrary, I was counting on that, which is why I decided that the two of you will be transferred to Ravenwood for psychological evaluation effective immediately. And as the judge spammed the gravel. You can't do that! Really? It's my courtroom, and I can do whatever the hell I want. Now, instead of challenging my methods, you should really take the time to say goodbye to your loved ones. Excuse me. All rise. And as everyone got up, while the judge got up and went and head out of the room, while the guards came and began handcuffing Carly, Karen, and Mildred. Look, can you give my wife a minute? We know who you are. A minute, that's all you get. Same goes for those two locked down there. And as the guards turn and head to the end of the room, leaving Carly and Bobby talking while the others are sat down. Wow. I've really done it this time, boy. You're not gonna be in there for long, I promise you. Meanwhile, back to where Karen, Mildred, and Howard is. I cannot believe that just happened. I know. Almost as if this was arranged. Our doppelgangers? Not surprisingly, but they won't get away with this, boy. I'm gonna get you out of this. This is far from over. It's fine, Howard. You did what you can. Yeah, thank you. It seems your wannabe lawyer couldn't get you out of a simple hearing. What a shame, and it's Drew a ride to where they are. And Karen, Mildred, and Howard saw them. Can you leave? I'm having a moment with my clients. Sorry, Howard. This is a public place, which means I'm not going anywhere. What do you want from us? Nothing. Seeing that your doppelgangers stripped you of everything you have. And as Karen came to where Drew is. Lady, you do know you're being watched by law enforcement, right? why do I get the distinct feeling you were somehow involved in this? Meanwhile, in the conference room, Linda, Cassie, and Kyle are talking. Forgive me for saying this. I don't give a damn because I have no part of this. Neither do I. Need I remind you both that your marriage in my hands? That doesn't mean much compared to what you're about to lose. So drop the dramatic and let us do our job. I'm glad we're all on the same page. Now, go down to New Caledonia. Where the hell is that? On a small island near New Zealand and Australia. And as Kyle's iPhone rings, and he got it, and saw who it is. Answer it later. There's work to be done. It will. All you gotta do is back the hell off. And as Cass and Kyle got up and went and left the room, just as Harold came in, and Linda saw. Oh, shut up, Harold. You'll be happy to know that I have good news for you. Meanwhile, at the Grand Baptist Church in the recreation room at Sean and Isabella's reception, everyone is looking at CJ and Dustin, who's on the ground thanks to CJ's punch. And as Dustin got back up, mate, what the hell you think you're playing at? Don't stand here and act why I've done that for nothing. You recognize a person named Michael, right? Great. Here we go. Seems that dude has more friends than ever. I want to know who the hell you think you are. Easy. I'm the person who's gonna tear you apart, and as Dustin went and tackle CJ to the ground. And as they begin fighting each other, with Greg and Sean come to where they are, that is enough. Pack it in now. And as both Sean and Greg broke up their fight. Look, I get it. The fact that people are so damn upset due to Michael getting some treatment just because he's my brother and all. You really need to get over yourself. You know what? What? Oi! You two can take it outside. No, Sean. I'm gonna have the both of them put in a cell so they can cool off. Going forth, I'm arresting you both for disorderly conduct. You don't have to say anything, but it may harm your defense if you do not mention when questioned some you later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given into evidence. You have a right to an attorney. Can't afford one, won't be appointed to you free of charge from the state. And as Greg went and handcuffed Dustin, while Claire went and handcuffed CJ. Seriously, Mom? Just because you're our son, don't change squat. And as they finished, put them both in a squad car separately, and as officers came and took CJ and Dustin away, while Isabella, Angela, and Vince came to where Claire and Greg is. What the hell was that about? I don't know. Claire, Greg, you know damn well my husband's not at fault here, and as Helen came to where they are, and they all saw her. On the contrary, Helen, he is at fault since he initiated the first punch. Therefore, going to the fight we saw. Come on, you're his parents. You suppose that doesn't mean anything? Really? You Dawsons, you always protect each other. Don't even think about pulling that card, Helen. Speaking of which, why don't you head to the station and bill him out? I'm quite certain you have enough money to do that. This isn't over. And as Helen turned and walked away. Wow, let's get to Isabella, who came to where Ashley is. How are you? On edge. Well, not because CJ and the other guy, but overall, I completely understand. And as Sean came to where they are, and Isabel and Ashley saw me. You ready? Yeah, I am. Meanwhile, at the Los Angeles International Hospital in the underground parking lot, Jennifer's sitting in her limousine. And as she has another flashback of Julian and her making love in Wilma and Julian's limousine. And it ended. Pull yourself together, Jennifer. Julian's married to Wilma. Well, legally he is. And then there's Eddie. And as Jennifer got her iPhone out and called him. Hey, it's me. I'm fine. I was wondering, you want to get together? Meanwhile, in the hallway, Steve went back to the waiting area and arrived and got the coffee pot along with a cup, and as he poured himself a cup of coffee. and put the coffee pot down. Meanwhile, in Jesse's room, Jesse's still lying in a coma with the shuttle room, that is, while Carol and Lauren are talking, while Lauren wheels from the slap Carol gave her. What the hell's the matter with you? I will not stand and be insulted by you of all people. Why? Because I'm being truthful? The only reason to why you're in this room, because last I checked, he's my husband. Really? Then why you kept the fact that you aborted his baby? You have no idea. Which, and I don't give a damn. My son's the one who's suffering because you robbed him a chance to be a father. Thank you for reminding me of what I did, which I have to pay for the rest of my life. By the way, if Jesse was alive, he would stop us from fighting each other. Can you just go and give me a minute with my son? I love your son more than anything in this world, and I would not have you just do one. Now, I'm not going anywhere. And as Steve came in, and Carol and Lauren saw, get out, Lauren. You know what? I'll leave. But let's make something quite clear. My marriage with your son isn't ending over this. And as Lauren turned and went, and left the room, with Steve closing the door. And as he turned and faced his wife Carol, who saw him. Do I even want to ask what happened? And as Carol gave Steve the look, yeah, that's what I thought.